What's the second case you have for us?
Well, the other Ninth Circuit ones, I have three Ninth Circuit cases that are just pretty interesting, I thought. But they're applicable to all circuits, and I'll tell you why. Sanchez-Rosales et al. V. Barr was published by the Ninth on November 18th. And, without getting too deep into it, this is a case where it appears the non-citizens went to a notario. Well, they definitely went to a notario. This guy's name is Carlos Lewis. I think it's important to name him. And it seems like Mr. Lewis filed potentially frivolous, definitely not very good asylum applications for the non-citizens, probably intending to then put them in removal proceedings so they could apply for non-LPR cancellation of removal because the non-citizens did have children with disabilities, which is unlawful and improper to do. The clients claimed that they didn't know that Mr. Lewis had even submitted these 589s for them. And then Mr. Lewis advised them not to go to the hearing once it was finally put in immigration court, which is just flat out illegal advice. And they didn't, and so they were removed in absentia. And eventually they filed a motion to reopen based on ineffective assistance of counsel, which right off the bat is interesting to me that you can file an ineffective assistance of counsel motion against a non-counsel, right? A non-attorney notario. But you can in the Ninth Circuit, and I believe everywhere, although I'm not sure of that. And what's important here is the Ninth Circuit relying on the board's own decisions in matter of Lozada and matter of Rivera Claros, so that means applicable all over the country, right? Held that, and at least based on Ninth Circuit precedent, which is based on those board decisions, non-citizens do not need to establish prejudice to succeed on a motion to reopen based on ineffective assistance of counsel when you're trying to reopen an in absentia order of removal. Every other motion to reopen based on ineffective assistance is going to have to show prejudice, and that's pretty difficult, and prejudice differs throughout the circuit, but not when it's an in absentia motion not when it's an in absentia order. Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty important, and it's based on Board of Immigration Appeals decisions as well, at least according to the Ninth. So applicable everywhere, at least the argument is.
That's good. That's good news. One thing you mentioned at the start of the case, this case is filing an I-589 asylum case for the sake of going to court. This is a tactic that a lot of practitioners probably still use, but there was I think a BIA decision a year back where they said you can't do that. It's malpractice to push someone in removal proceedings, filing essentially a fraud asylum case just to do that. I was at a liaison meeting with the asylum office in Anaheim, California, like 3-4 years ago. And someone asked, is it okay to do? And they're like, man, whatever. They were kind of like, it wasn't a big deal for them, but be careful. Listen to this. Don't file it just for the sake of pushing someone in to get an NTA. It doesn't work that way anymore. You don't want to risk your license and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I understand practitioners would do it as well. It seems crazy to me, even if you've got a decent cancellation case. I mean, cancellation's a high bar. Yeah. You're really rolling the dice, even if it wasn't an improper thing to do, which it is. Yeah. It's just rolling the dice so hard in something that could result in deportation.
Yeah, sometimes clients will say, "Listen, I'm tired of this life. I just want a final decision on things, but it's not the way to go." But I think that's the frustration that comes with sometimes a client would just be like, back when I did removal, I remember this one guy. He had a good asylum case, but just getting the hearing kept getting pushed back, and it was like 3-4 years of pending. And he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go back to my home country. I'm tired of being in this limbo, not knowing what's gonna happen in my life. I'll risk it out over there. I said, okay, it is what it is, But that's the frustrations of a foreign applicant dealing with this court stuff.